Do you understand what I say? Let's go to work. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Featherweight Championship of Great Britain.
Referee Marcus McDonnell, brother of Jim McDonnell, good fighter himself a few years ago. And this, Alex Arthur, one I've really been looking forward to. Andy Morris, a lovely technician, and John Simpson, an improving fighter with a really hurtful right hand.
Yeah, very steady fighter. He's got a great body shot as well.
Morris in the blue-coloured shorts, Andy on the waistband, and Simpson slightly the taller man. Both these guys 24 years old. Morris, incidentally, as an amateur, was a lightweight. This is a featherweight title fight made at 9 stone. Morris, as an amateur, was an ABA champion at lightweight back in 2002.
Yeah, well, that'll work to his advantage, John. If he can make the weight safely, he'll certainly grow overnight. You know, in the 32-hour period, he'll be much stronger and fitter in the long run.
Well, he's brought a good man in to help with his nutrition, which you heard him refer to in the interview a little bit earlier on. Kerry Case, he's the man who works wonders with Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton getting himself up to 12 stone odd, and go, oh, that's a good right hand, and Simpson will take courage and confidence from that. He clipped him with a solid right hand in there, Alex, and yeah, another one.
Very strong shot. John Simpson is really looking like a much harder puncher than Andy Morris right now.
I know you were speaking to Alec Morrison, his manager, in the run-up to this, and big Alex was confident himself about this one, and we've got some really full-on action here in the opening minute and a half or so. Yeah,
well, Alex actually called me from his home in Spain and told me that he thought that John Simpson would win inside 8 rounds.
Well, we will see. He's certainly started with confidence, and for me, the best shot of this opening round so far has been landed by the champion, John Simpson, who, incidentally, with the bookies, was 7-2 against for this one. Andy Morris, a prohibitive 6-1 on, and I always thought this was going to be a very, very much closer and more competitive fight than that.
Oh, yeah, I think with the past fights that they've had, you know, Morris looked so dominant. I think that's maybe swayed the bookies, but, you know, John Simpson is really in this fight. This is a 50-50 fight.
He's opened up and trying to throw that right hand with hurtful intent. It's better work from Morris now. He seems to have regrouped after being clipped hard by that right in the opening minute or so. But he's really tried to load up with it as Simpson. There again, aiming for the big overhand right, that chopping shot. Both these fellas do have a tendency to cut. Simpson had a terrible cut against Derry Matthews, was allowed to fight on that occasion, and Morris, as we've seen, he can also cut. I hope that's not going to be a factor.
Yeah, well, Simpson's doing something really smart in there. He's jabbing to Andy Morris's chest and bringing the right hand over the top. I don't think Andy Morris can actually see the shot coming.
Flurry of punches from Morris drew a little bit of a smile from Simpson. And Simpson's, to me, looks as though he's almost trying to walk through him here. He's trying to prove himself physically the stronger man and show that he's the puncher in there.
Yeah, and he's looking far stronger. I'm really surprised.
Closing seconds of a fascinating opening round, and a good one for the champion.
Almost definitely.
Well, there's John Simpson, and I think he started well there, Alex. I think, for me, that was a really confident start from the champion, and he allowed Morris to get away from him in the previous 2 contests, but no way this time.
No, he jumped right on top of him.
There's that right hand.
Fantastic right hand, John. Right on the money.
And he kept on throwing good quality shots. Morris was trying to put together his combinations, but he was walking him down.
He really was. I was so surprised. What a shot for the first round, you know.
Well, they'll take an awful lot of heart from that, and a few stern words in that corner from Bob Shannon for Andy Morris. So we're telling him he's just got to liven his act up.
Seconds out, round 2.
Who do you give that opening round to, Alex? Do you give that first one to Simpson?
Almost definitely.
So the champion is ahead. Champion John Simpson in the whites and yellow shorts. Ahead on the way, Alex Arthur's reading this anyway. There's 3 judges, of course, at ringside for this British title fight. Morris has not been able to put together the silky skills that he's noted for, and again he walked into that right hand.
Another one, yeah. I think John Simpson really has to focus on making Andy Morris fight on the back foot, and he's cut again. Andy Morris is cut over the right eye.
Oh, goodness me. Well, that's, oh dear, it is as well. There's a, yeah, it's a good spot on the blind side of where we're sitting, and there you see it as he turns towards our camera here, and it doesn't look good. Well, I was speaking to Marcus McDonnell about his propensity to cut, and he'll know that. He'll feel the blood trickling down. And Marcus said, well, I don't often stop a fight on cuts, but he's going to be having a look at that, I'm sure, at this very, very early stage. And it's up above the eyebrow by the looks of it.
Yeah, it seems to be running away from the eye, not directly into the eye. So, you know, I've had experience with Bob Shannon before, and he's a very, very good cut man. I'm sure if he's given the time, he will be able to work with it.
Well, he'll need to, and at the same time as well, Morris is going to need to keep his concentration here, because that can be unsettling when he feels that he's injured and he sees and senses the blood running down his face. And look at Simpson again and again, hurling in that right hand. Let's see exactly how the cut came. I suspect it came through punches rather than a clash of heads, though, because this has been a pretty sporting sort of contest so far, as you see that little touch of gloves.
Most definitely. It's been a very clean fight. A lot of clean punches landed already.
Morris landed with a good right hand there, as Alex Arthur was speaking to you, but Simpson returned it with interest with a clubbing shot of his own.
John Simpson is fighting a very, very smart fight right now.
Scottish champion as an amateur as John, turned professional at the age of 19. Had a good schooling on the Scottish dinner circuit. He was a fighter who was managed in the early stages by Tommy Gilmore, then switched camps to big Alec Morrison, and he's seen defeat 5 times in his career, but he's improved as he's gone on, and in a sense a bit of a throwback. You know, I mean, you know all about that. You had a defeat yourself and came back from it as a better fighter.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. A defeat can do wonders for some fighters.
Well, closing seconds of the round, and Morris is trying to establish his jab, but still the more powerful shots in this round have come from Simpson.